Please enjoy the Static in the Attic video where he is tying in recently seen spirals in the sky with ancient petroglyphs.
Look, this is sped up big time, and this took over 40 minutes start to finish. You can tell that the spiral part is emanating out from a central point. There's something going on there. Here we are zoomed in, get a little better view of it. This outburst right here does make me think of SpaceX. I'm not trying to grift anybody with this. At the very least, this brings up a very interesting subject of ancient accounts that I'm about to read to everybody. So stick around because I'll give you some interesting stuff in this video. But the first problem with this being SpaceX is they launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 6:11 p.m. Florida is 5 hours ahead of Hawaii, so if they launched at 6 p.m., that would be 1 p.m. Hawaiian time, 1 in the afternoon. So this was obviously filmed at night, so it was at least 6 hours till it got dark. The timestamp says 4:20, so it has to be a.m. because it's sunlight at 4:20 p.m. So how did this thing get from Florida in the daytime over here to Hawaii in the nighttime? Flat Earthers, same question. Now, I also noticed that before the whirlpool spiral arms appear, there's no trail back behind this thing at all. Now let's look at the SpaceX launch from a couple years ago that freaked everybody out because they looked up into the sky and saw this big, huge thing. Now, a very big problem I have with all of this is, hasn't NASA been sending rockets into space for the last 60 years? Well, why is it now that we see this when we've never seen it before? Now we've got noctulescent clouds up in the sky from a launch. Seems like rockets going into space would pretty well all look the same, but I'll just leave that there. You guys can come to your own conclusions on why that is. Okay, the first obvious thing that you notice is that there is a big, huge tail, but there was no tail at all on the Hawaii spiral. But the pulsations that it's giving off does look similar to the Hawaii object. The other thing about this is that this launch that we're looking at right now, this is in real time. This isn't sped up. This is all happening as we see it. The other one took 40 minutes for all of that to take place. You can't argue that it was higher up because, well, the speed of light is still going to bounce off and come to your eyes at the same rate of speed. So, like I said, could have been a SpaceX launch. You guys make up your own mind, but one looks like this, and the other one looks like this. There's some very noticeable differences here. Interestingly enough, I stumbled across this video that has all of 8 views. Same day, January 31st. All it says is Alton. He does speak with an English accent, but he's filming what he described as a green ball. That's not just lens flare making it green. Here, listen in for a second.
Hey, can you see the green lights in the sky here? Is that the green light?
So he was filming some strange green light in the sky. This was also spotted over, it used to be called Anatolia. What do you eat for Thanksgiving dinner? You know, the big event that happened there this week. This was spotted in the sky just before that. I'm not going to say the word. Another thing I'm not going to say is the stringed instrument that angels play. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. All over Twitter, everybody's blaming it on that. At least 50 retweets of a post talking about the lightning that occurred during this and saying that this is very uncommon during a shaking, when the opposite is true. I've done videos about the 1812 New Madrid shaker where there were reports of not only regular lightning but also ball lightning, a strange phenomena. This is due to, I presume, a piezoelectric discharge. If you take quartz rock and bang it with a hammer, it'll create little sparks. So you've got all this quartz in the ground that's grinding on each other under incredible pressures, and it causes lightning. Here's an example from, I think, 3rd century AD. And this, I think that there is a big cover-up of, because I think the Mediterranean got completely wiped out for what they say around 300 AD. I'm not getting into the dating, but they say A horrible phenomena suddenly spread through the entire extent of the world, such as are related to us neither in fable nor in truthful history. Never even heard of anything close to this. For a little after daybreak, preceded by heavy and repeated thunder and lightning, the whole of the firm and solid earth was shaken and trembled. There's a long history of these being correlated with each other. And for someone to say that. Anyway, back to the spirals on petroglyphs. This is what got my attention on all this anyway. This one, look closely at it. This one actually has a striking resemblance to what we're seeing right here.
Here we go with 4. Ooh, those are all polar lines. Look at the polar cap lines all swirled around. That means our polar cap lines are swirling, sending out swirling masses. These are electromagnetic pulses, for lack of a better term.
Now let's read some of the ancient accounts from this book. That is the title of the book right there. If anyone wants to look it up, I only have it in PDF and I can't put it in the description. But if you start typing in a general chronological history of blah, 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 it'll come up. And speaking of chronology, I have done a video on this about how some of these events may have all been the same event and they just spread it out over years and years, because you'll have one event right next door to the other that was 50 years apart, when it makes perfectly sense that it shook over here and the wave hit here. But one thing's for certain, the whole purpose of this book, written in the 1700s, is to show that these strange phenomena are interrelated with catastrophic events. Check out this description. On the calends of June, 6 o'clock at night, appeared a great white circle in the middle of the firmament, and another circle like a rainbow cut the middle of the great circle, and the semicircle was opposite to the sun northward. The white circle disappeared about 9 o'clock, so it was up there for 3 hours, and the rainbow-like semicircle became an entire great circle, and the sun shining in the middle. At the same time, the moon was seen westward with her horns hung towards the earth. The next day was a great circle like a rainbow, and the sun in the middle about 6 o'clock, but continued a short time. Swarms of palmer worms ate up all the fruits in Scotland. But what is going on here? That thing is just going in slow motion. Pretty insane. Like I said, that one, I don't know where it's from. 4 days ago, though. It's just mesmerizing me. It's going so slow. I remember seeing a video of one in the desert heading for a mountain a few years ago, and was just moving impossibly slow, it seemed. Another one I'll show here in a minute. There's one going up as one is going down. This is slowed down to half speed. Okay, also in Japan, also 4 days ago, this. I don't even have to look this up. I've seen this dozens of times in the last couple of years, and what they're going to say is it's falling space debris, a satellite, or whatnot. But I've seen several of these long, slow burns that break into a bunch of pieces. It's definitely a different color than the other ones. This is reddish orange to where the meteorites are green. The skies above Krasnoyarsk, where you get your vodka from. This is from January 31st, which is the same night as the whirlpool over Hawaii, and there was also a light filmed over Alton, Australia. I noticed how these just kind of pop at the end.
Yes, they look like clouds right now, but these are the white orbs people are seeing. They also are the system in micro. It's the same thing. It's just going so fast, it's disappearing. See, the one on the left is taking off. The one on the right is sticking around. These are the same white orbs that MRMBB caught, or Mary Hall caught. I can't remember the tool she uses. And this is also a micro of the system. Each little piece of the system replicates its whole. These next 4 pictures are grabs I took off that previous live video. You can see the different parts of the system in each photo. That is the eagle head. Each photo is this system transforming in shape. Here you see on the right is that frowny face we've seen before.
This one is over Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. 4 days ago, the same as the first 2 from Japan. Big flash on this one. And for those of you that stuck around, I'm about to show you the kind of weirdest one out of all of them. With a name like Top Viral Videos, I'm not trusting the source that much, but February 2nd on this is what they're saying. This one just looks unreal. So if this is a fakery, then I don't know. This one does not appear to be moving at all, but like I said, I don't know if this is even a real video. There are some very talented CGI artists out there, so that's my disclaimer. This is still continuous shot. The loop ends here. Illinois, USA, 3:25 a.m. last night, uploaded 7 hours ago. And apparently they saw this thing buzz by overhead and then was able to get the camera out, and there's a big smoke trail in the sky. This is down close enough to the ground that the city lights are lighting it up. Like I said, I don't know what to make of this stuff. I'm just sharing it with everybody else. This is another from Krasnoyarsk, another angle anyway. Same one, busts into 2 pieces there.
I don't know how. But see, then that one just let out another orb, and then that one will zoom off. And that one on the left, it's looking like the Woolly Bully. There are a couple others, though. There's one right there. That one's zooming off. And then there's a big structure underneath of it.
We got this photo over Israel, apparently. Allegedly, February 4th. This is the same one from earlier over France and England, but look how bright this thing gets in the city. Like a lightning flash. Here it is slowed down. Pretty cool. This photo says unidentified over South Oxfordshire, but I'm thinking this was probably the same one that was over France and England last night. I came across this while looking around in Iowa, 1875 on this day. A giant fireball trailed across Iowa skies, and the meteorite fragmented into over 100 pieces and fell over an 18 square mile area. I'll just leave you with this.
That's it. Hi, you guys. I hope you enjoyed those Static in the Attic videos and the one clip from Brian Knight regarding spirals in our sky and in our atmosphere. I think this object, and I do think it is one object orbiting our sky, is going to be spotted more and more and be in the news here soon. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I just wanted to give proper acknowledgement to the Static in the Attic YouTube channel and also Brian Knight channel. See you guys soon. Bye. And you know, we're all looking to see these little orbs, you know, but they're really poofs of cloud.